Gina, and I wanted to do the full review of the safari experience after the 5-day, 4-night safari experience I did in the northern Serengeti part of Tanzania. So I went to Lake Myanmar, Tarangire National Park, Ngorongoro crater, which was really, really beautiful actually. In Lonely Planet they describe it as the first day on Earth, what that might have looked like, and it really, they did that hits the nail on the head with that description. It really was like stepping back to maybe what things looked like before humans touched them. So it was really beautiful. And then I went to Serengeti for a day and a half. And I loved the Serengeti. It was amazing to just be in that region with the short grass. I mean, this is the stuff that you've seen in National Geographic or Discovery Channel. Just the stuff that it looks so just so epic and iconic, and it was absolutely lovely. They had all of the animals there that you'd expect to see: zebras, lions, cheetahs, leopards, antelope, the water buffalo, other types of large animals with antlers. I don't know all the names, countless birds. I mean, just an amazing wildlife spectacle. Overall, the safari, there's not a lot of action you're gonna see. So you have to be there for quite a number of days in order to see like action stuff. Mostly you're gonna see animals laying down, laying on the ground, laying in a tree. I mean, seeing that stuff like the cheetah chasing the antelope and making the kill, that stuff is apparently really hard to see, and that was what I was craving for, to see that at the end, and I never did get to see that. I wanted to, but the tour group I was with was not like wanting to see the same stuff, so we had different ideas. So that was an issue, the personality conflicts. Like, we wanted different things. Like, I wanted to stay and watch some animal longer, and they just wanted to just drive around and see more of the same stuff we'd already seen. And I felt like, oh, I really wanted to absorb and get to know this one animal better and stick around and see its like nuances. But I wasn't able to successfully do that because of the group that I ended up joining. So overall, I went with this company called Amazing Kilmanjaro. I don't know if you can see it. They're Amazing Kilmanjaro Tours and Safaris. This was the paper they gave me as my receipt. I paid $950 US for all of the things I just described, the 4 parks. They were all camping nights except the one lodge night that I paid additional for. And because they messed up a lot of things, they put me in the Ngorongoro Wildlife Lodge, which is still like 5 stars, amazing. But I have a little list, a rundown list that I made after my whole experience to tell to the owner, manager, Godfrey, what's his last name? Godfrey Elisante. And they gave him the rundown of the good and the bad. There were like a handful of good things about that, and then a laundry list of bad things. I just want to give you a few of the good things I'll start with. So first, the cook was, well, this is first starting with the bad, but the cook was not, did not appropriately prepare the vegetarian lunch that I requested. So Godfrey changed the cook the day of. So that was a plus, because then the food was good, and then the lunches were still but everything, breakfast and dinners were really good. I mean, I did get to see some amazing animals that I was looking forward to seeing, you know, elephants, cheetahs, the water buffalo, you know, stampede across the grasslands, zebras. I got to see all of the animals I was wanting to see, except the rhino, but I did get to see it through binoculars, like a really long telescope at the Ngorongoro Wildlife Lodge. They had you know, you could see rhino, but the rhino is very rare to see, and not everyone got to see that either. But okay, so the bad things were, the first day we were promised to have 1.5 liters of water per person, the big bottles, and we didn't get any that first day. I didn't get any. The negatives of this group, we left animal sightings too soon. We were late to start the safari in the morning, in part due to the driver/guide just not being efficient and quick enough with things. Godfrey changed my program without proper communication and telling me what was happening like the second day, and he said later that, well, we couldn't get you in the lodge you wanted, or the lodge, it was full. So that was his error, and he did correct it by sending me to Ngorongoro Wildlife Lodge, but still it messed up the entire program and the path I had, you know, arranged with him. So that was not really good, to be just switching the agreement around without my consent, or okay, he just did it because he had to fit it in, to fit me in. So I felt like kind of an afterthought with that. And he should have let me know up front if there might be alterations, to let me know that, oh, maybe this won't work out. So he should have informed me with better communication about the fact that he was changing things, or things could be changed. So I did not like that or appreciate that. The first guide he gave us just spoke too softly. I couldn't even understand his explanations about animals. So it was very hard to understand, very unclear. I didn't get to learn as much as I wanted to about these animals. He promised that every place would have all hot water showers that we stayed at. None of them had consistent hot water. The only place that did was the Ngorongoro Wildlife Lodge, and it actually did have at sometimes even scorching hot water, but then it went back to warm. So that was the only place that had the consistent hot water shower. So that was a fail, not accurate information he gave me. Also, the driver/guide, his name was Lewis. He just like walked away without explaining things. Like, we would stop at one of the parks to pay, and he would just get out, walk away without any communication to the fellow travelers or the passengers what was going on. We were all left really clueless, and how long are we waiting here? There was no briefing about what's going on from moment to moment. So the communication was very poor, and his English in general was just subpar. I would ask him basic questions, and he's like, sorry, what? Like, it was just very ineffective, and so his English was extremely frustrating for the level he needed to be for a guide. It was not to par. And then there was an incident where we were stopped just before the Serengeti National Park entrance, and this was, we waited 2.5 hours there without clear communication of what was going on, and he was in the office trying to pay, and the whole group started getting extremely frustrated. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? And he was just in the office, and then he comes out and says somebody has to pay an additional park entrance fee, which was another $76 US. So he kind of forced one of the other people to pay so we could go in when they had already paid, because apparently, I was told later, Serengeti National Park only takes credit cards, and they do not accept cash. So this was Godfrey's issue. His company was run so ineffectively. He made another one of the passengers pay an additional fee out of the blue, unexpected, to help us go in the park, and then later he said he would reimburse them. But his company should have like a company credit card for incidents like that, not make the passengers pay an additional $76. That just ruins their experience. It's just really uncomfortable, and like what the WTF, what is going on? So that was really uncomfortable, and also just making us wait there without any communication of what was going on for 2.5 hours. In his agreement, he says if there is a car issue or anything that takes a delay of 3 hours or more, we will reimburse you for the time or something along those lines. So it was even nearing the 3-hour mark, and so we were all extremely frustrated. Then the atmosphere in the car and amongst us passengers after that was just a bad mood due to that experience. So that was very uncomfortable. There were personality issues with some of the other passengers with me. Like there was this Spanish girl. I think there was some communication issue going on, but she took my lunch, which was really irritating. If anyone who's ever taken your lunch, maybe out of the refrigerator at work or wherever, I don't know. It's really irritating, and I didn't even know this girl, so it was just irritating to heck as that happened. Then the last day was supposed to be a full day. What I was told was a full day of safari, and it ended up just being a half day. A safari, like 4 hours of the game drive, and I didn't get to see the animals for the length of time I was expecting to have seen them for. So it was very disappointing overall. And then on the way back, there was a 5-hour bumpy ride from Serengeti National Park back to Arusha, and every single time a car came, which was every 10 seconds to 1 minute, cars come by, the windows were open and they would just blow dust in, and I had with me my buff, which is like it's the headscarf where you can put on your head anywhere, and I had this covering my mouth the whole time. It was so hot, so uncomfortable, and I did it to protect myself from breathing in the dust. I asked the driver guy, Lewis, to turn on the AC. He said it's broken, doesn't work. He just didn't want to accommodate my request. So at the end, I'm dirty, disgusting, my hair is a new shade of brown, I'm like coughing, just hair is in knots from the wind, even though I had it all tied back. It was just a really uncomfortable ride back. Lewis had poor communication. We didn't get to see the animals as long as I wanted. There was a 2.5-hour delay with getting to one of the parks. The only good thing about Lewis was he got us to point A and B safely. He was like an okay driver. But as far as being a driver/guide, he was ineffective. I gave Godfrey all of that review that I had just explained to you. He came to meet me at 10 p.m. at night at my hotel where I stayed at in Arusha when I finally got back. And I explained to all of them. He did apologize, so I have to give him kudos for at least accepting some responsibility for that. There were a few good points, but overall it was a hard experience. And these are my honest thoughts about it. So sorry, Godfrey and Amazing Kilmanjaro Tours. I'm gonna give you a thumbs down. This was a poor experience. And this is like once in a lifetime experience for a lot of people who want to do a safari in their life and end up with a poor experience. So sorry, I give it a thumbs down. I would suggest looking around for other companies if you want to do a safari, and definitely ask lots of questions before you agree to anything, or you're gonna feel like badly that you spent so much money and didn't get what you expected out of it.